Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmitty, Swanny and Clarkey visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised. All right, how are we all?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you, Schmitty? How are you, Clarky?
Hello.
How's
Good.
your week's been?
Yeah, mine's been good. I've been travelling for work. Went to Bendigo and Horsham again. Got back to Savo, which was nice. And now I get to see your lovely faces, which is even better.
Can I just say, you said Bendigo and what?
Horsham.
Oh, I thought I heard Bendigo and abortion. And I thought...
How topical. Roe versus Wade. He's just going to weave it in there.
Maybe it's top of mind. I've seen a few...
It certainly is top of mind this week.
Are you trying to tell us something?
Things on Facebook around the subject. So perhaps that was just a Freudian thing in my head. I'm all right. I've just been working and trying to do some edits. I was telling Carla that before we started that I started a bit of a diet this week and I am exhausted. I'm a broken woman. I've been doing the exercise as well, and I've, instead of my normal being able to sit down from 5:30 when I finish work and edit for 5 or 6 hours, I've just had to lie down and go to sleep. So I'm a bit tired, but that's okay. I'm hoping.
But you're notoriously good at this. That's the thing.
Well, that's right, and that's why I know that you got
to
push through for the first 2 weeks, and then it'll level out. But I'm just in that early phase of my poor body going, what? We used to have calories coming in.
We were having fun.
I'll never forget a little Garfield cartoon that had Garfield there looking particularly unhappy, and it said, "Diet is die with a T."
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Swanny. I didn't ask you how your week's been. Did you
that's
have
all right.
anything
It'll all working quite nicely. I'm drinking nothing because, as you know, I've just raced from a lunch, and I was just saying to Schmitty before that I've had a crazy week. I have had lunches and dinners that keep being at the same location. So this morning I've been to a friend's daughter's birthday at one restaurant, and I've just been back to the same restaurant for lunch. I only was not there for an hour. So when I said I've got to leave, I'm like, well, to be fair, Carly, you have been here since about 8:30 this morning. So it's like, good point. But yeah, so I don't even have a drink. I've just finished one in the restaurant. So over to you guys. What have you got there, Clarky? That looks interesting.
Well, yeah, this is it's called a Summerfield Pyrenees Shiraz. And it's, that will make you think of lovely places overseas. But in fact, the Pyrenees is a region of Victoria.
Yeah.
And
it's not, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that. I was going to say,
Yeah, so as I was driving to Horsham at about 9 o'clock in the morning, I drove past a winery with a sign out the front that said open. So I thought, in we go. I'll pick something up to drink. They told me that they were renowned for their Shiraz, and so I bought a bottle of Shiraz.
Clarky, sometimes I think you're the only person, and because I'm really not even in the running at all, but you truly do understand the title, Trial by Wine. You do drink wine.
Well, you know,
pretty much you're very good at it.
It's a 3-word title, so it's not that difficult for me to grasp the concept.
For me, it does. For me, it is. I work outside the boundaries of clearly. Schmitty's, likes to mix it up with some spirits. Yeah. What she got? What have you got today?
I did listen to Vegan on the Run today, and there was a part of that I just couldn't get my head around what the crime was, and they were talking about, I think, grand larceny or something like that as one of the crimes, but I was going, I don't know who the crime is and whatnot. So whilst I drink wine whilst we talk, I don't necessarily get the whole concept sometimes. So anyway, over to you, Schmitty.
Well, I am drinking in honour of Carla, I'm drinking a ginger beer. It's a low sugar ginger beer. I don't even understand the name of its brand. It just seems to be an ampersand. So I don't know what that means. This is the one I mentioned last time. I tried some that was a bit kombucha-y, a little bit fermented tasting.
Oh, yeah.
So I've turned it in to a dark and stormy by adding a little bit of my.
I had a dark and
juice.
stormy at dinner last night, and I thought of you, and I thought,
Juice.
I'm sure that's the drink Schmitty has.
Well,
And
anything
someone else
with rum,
convinced
but-
me to have it because she wasn't feeling so crash hot. She'd just come off COVID.
Ha
And I was like,
ha!
so there you
Schmitty's
go,
back.
Schmitty.
Yeah, I know. I fucking my penchant for pirate juice is concerning, but anyway.
Can one of
is a
your
good word.
sentences for today be to make someone walk the plank?
Quite possibly. We'll find out once.
That would be appropriate.
Okay, well, just in case people are listening to us who don't know who we are, I'm Schmitty.
I'm Swanny.
And I'm Clarky, and together we are
Trial
by Wine.
Wine.
Oh, that was a good one. Wine.
Wine. That's right.
Wine.
All right, who's got a story for us today?
I've got a couple.
Excellent.
I've tried something a little bit different this week. Let's see how it goes. And I started off and I thought, oh, you know what I haven't done for a while and we could probably do with an update because I don't think we've done one since sort of late last year was Florida Man. But before we get on to
Florida Man,
I would like to sort of slightly go slightly off skew, which is what I've actually done is it's Florida Man. I think 99% of the stories are based in Florida. But the thing that all of these stories have in common is the fact that the headlines were just utterly ridiculous and probably the very best clickbait. The stories don't even live up to the headlines, but so it's the headline is the thing that got me in, and then whether or not really the stories are that great. Some of them are good, but some of them are a bit dodge. But the first story I shared this actually with Schmitty and Clarky through the week, and I would like to cover it.
Oh, yes.
I'm not asking that we actually necessarily go to trial, but I don't think we can ignore it. Okay, so I have got a number of sources today. Just to rattle them off up front, I've used Newsweek, the Daily Mail,
Yes.
NBC Online,
Love the Daily Mail.
Tampa Bay Times.
The Tampa
Fox
Bay
News.
Times has a nice ring to it, doesn't
It
it?
does.
Yep.
Fox News, which of course, let's be judgy, and the Miami Herald. So you can tell that it's really highbrow. This is probably going to be the most lowbrow
Well,
one that we've
no
done.
lead
Britannica.
Bible. No lead Bible, though, so,
There's no need to go to Lead Bible. because I don't think they would have had-
It's too good.
You know what all
These
these
aren't
stories-
even good enough for lead
The
Bible.
barrel was
Not
well
even.
and truly empty.
And I have to say that with some of them, it's the same thing. I can find the headlines on several different publications, but there's no content because these are just ridiculous little fluff pieces. So this is kind of like the bit at the news where you go, oh, it's a human interest story. But these are not even human interest story. They are just stupefyingly either weird or...
Well, we're humans and we're
indictment
interested, so we'll call
Yes,
it a human
absolutely.
story.
So the first one is a story that came out of the UK this week. And the reason it has been in the press...
Is that Florida in the UK?
Oh, no, I'll start with them.
I'm sure somewhere in the UK has got something like Florida in
I'm
it.
sure.
It's got so
But
many
this
weird
is the
names.
special piece that I'd shared late one night with Clarky and Schmitty because I just couldn't believe it.
Couldn't let it go.
So there was a Channel 4 documentary that was on air this week, and Channel 4 in the UK is notorious, I guess, for, well, really showing just really, I don't know, I would say cutting edge, but I don't think that's actually the right term. Remember when you did your doll one, Schmitty? What was that called? Do you remember? When the person had the dolls that looked like real life babies?
Oh,
All joint
That
babies.
whole
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time.
Ball jointed dolls. I'm still scarred
Ball
by
jointed,
that.
yeah. That's
Reborn,
right.
reborn babies.
Reborn dolls,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. So this same network is
I love
notorious
Channel
for
4. I loved
doing
it.
really.
Yeah.
I love Channel 4. I miss it, and you cannot get it here. I think we've both tried, haven't we?
Well, you can.
To see if we can
but
download
it's
the.
so dodgy how to do it.
It's
I'll
illegal.
tell you that
Shows.
off air. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for all intent and purpose, we're unable to access that content right now. But anyway, we've got
And
the
that's
general
our
idea.
stance, and we're sticking to it.
Yes.
Correct. So we've seen a couple of excerpts, but this is what I sent through to these guys through the week. So the headline reads, Father, 47, whose penis fell off due to a blood infection, reveals how, it's a very long headline, how he lived with a new one attached to his arm, for 6 years.
Oh,
As he
like
says,
honestly.
while
Clearly,
cooking-
Wooey didn't hear this story. Have
Oh.
you seen his face?
No.
You should see it. There's footage of him going
His
like
jaw
that,
is
and
on the
the
floor.
Yes.
the dick is
Yeah, well, she'll
wobbling.
get to it. She'll get to it.
So I shall I'm
You
so
should
glad that
see-
you haven't
You
heard
should
about
see
it because
Woo's
that's even
face. That was
better, really.
funny. You were reading, but he literally was like this. Carla.
Oh, I know.
Is that like
It's-
something they do? They
it-
grow new ears on the sides of.
Correct. It's exactly
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
Right. No,
That-
well,
if
kind
that's what you've
of.
got in mind,
Yeah, wait till you hear it.
yeah, that's exactly this kind of thing you need to have in mind, you know. Anyway, so I'll tell you the backstory.
Oh.
A man who spent 6 years with a penis on his arm after an operation went wrong has revealed the difficulties caused by the unusual genitalia placement, including struggling to cuddle his grandmother
Oh, I
and
love it.
burning it while cooking.
I love it. I love it. That's so good.
I've seen footage of him leaning over his stove where he's saying, look, I can't use the back burner because his penis, which is attached to his forearm, is dangling off. And it's,
no.
I mean, you know what it's like when you're going to
It
catch your
really
sleeve.
does. Yeah, it gives a new meaning to the term. Put it on the back burner.
Oh, goodness.
Absolutely. Oh, Paul Malcolm McDonald is his name. He's 47 and he's from, I think you'd pronounce it Tetford in Norfolk, Schmitty. Thetford,
Tetford,
I guess.
Tetford, yeah.
Who appeared on Channel 4's The Man with a Penis on His Arm last night, had his penis
What a
amputated in
stupid heading.
2014
Oh, God.
after a blood infection caused it to decay,
Do you
though his
remember when?
testicles remained intact.
Sorry, Swanny. Do you remember when you're in the UK that they like to use the expression "does what it says on the tin"?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, well, that headline does what it says on the tin.
Yeah,
The man
yeah.
with a penis on his arm.
It's very, very true. Sorry, Swanny, can you just repeat that last bit because I don't think it got the attention it deserves.
Oh, okay. His penis had been amputated in 2014 after a blood infection caused it to decay, though his testicles remained intact.
Oh no!
He could have left it as is and had Sada Abe come and fall in love with him.
Now, this
She
is what's a little
loves
bit
that.
confusing because Malcolm has some addiction issues, and I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, he was homeless leading up to this event. So I think through drug use and a relationship falling apart, he'd moved into a friend's garage. That he'd sort of been set up there, but that didn't really work out. And then he ended up being made homeless.
That's all the
And it's at this point.
yeah, that's all the sad
His
real
dick
bit
falls
that
off.
I don't want to hear as part of this story.
Oh no, you want to hear
I
this?
want to hear
because
the
I
goals.
think I think this bears just giving him like pause. Just pause.
Okay.
I don't want us to discuss it,
A
but
minute's silence.
just pause. After being made homeless, and this is what's awful about this story is this man has some serious issues, so
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not trying to make light of that. But Malcolm developed a long-term perineum infection.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So between his balls and his asshole.
Between the scrotum
Thanks for
and
that.
the anus.
We could have just left
A
it as
long-term
perineum.
infection. This is graphic. He said he had abscesses which swelled up the size of a tennis ball and popped. And the infection escalated into sepsis, turning his fingers, toes, and penis black.
And I was
So
just
he
going to
must
say,
have been really unwell.
yeah.
Really. He's lucky he's
Sepsis can
alive.
kill you. So
Oh, totally.
That's true.
and it can kill you within like 24 to 48 hours. So he was very lucky that it didn't kill him.
Where, in terms of sort of like a timeline, so 2014, Malcolm McDonald's long-term perineum infection develops into sepsis. This led to the penis turning black and falling off.
It literally fell off.
It
Yeah,
fell
he went to
off.
the toilet and it fell off.
Oh, so not
Can
on-
you even imagine
Explained.
it? Can you even imagine?
Oh.
You go to
My
have a waz and your
Yeah.
dick falls off.
Oh, it
Yeah.
reminds me of that detachable penis song again that we
But
touched
I mean,
on.
how sick must he have been?
I know, right?
How incredibly sick. How tortured must the tissue have been for it to be able to just
Fall off.
It's not gangrenous.
Yeah, he
but
was not a well
something
man.
like gangrene. You're like,
And that's
it's
why I
just so
think that,
awful,
and there's
yeah.
a lot of feedback on this story, which is this. We'll get to that. Let's get to this. Let's
It's
just
not as
go
funny
through
as the headline yet. Let's
Oh no. So he explained, my toes started going black, my penis started going black. I went to the toilet and it fell off.
oh.
Malcolm said he was left with
Ba-boom.
a stump and revealed he was
Wouldn't it
unable
be
to
like-
remember what it was like to have one. Malcolm said, oh, this is a bit tricky. Malcolm said he threw his penis in the bin.
He threw it in the bin. It
He
fell
threw it
off
in the
in his
bin.
hand. He must have been.
It might have fallen
Holding it to
straight
have a
into the
wee.
water.
No, he threw it in the bin. He's holding it. going,
I mean, he must have
hang on,
been
hold on.
suffering from mental illness at the very least, or
Yeah.
severe drug
Something was bad.
Fuck.
psychosis or something to be able to handle that. Oh, I'll just pop that in the bin.
Oh, God.
I won't be needing
Who
that.
puts their manhood in the bin?
Something is
Now
rotten
this
in
is
the
the
state
bit
of
where
Denmark.
I've got there's a big hole for us because I'm only working from one article and we haven't been able to watch the documentary, and perhaps they fleshed it out. Perhaps they fleshed it out a bit more, but I don't know how he goes from being homeless and having thrown his penis in the bin to having a medic involved. There's no suggestion of how that came about.
Good on NHS.
I've got here, Malcolm said he threw his penis in the bin with medics originally telling him. So I don't know how they got to the scene or where they were or how he reached out for help. I don't understand that part of the story. But this is, again, the visual metaphor.
Maybe someone found it in the bin
Maybe
and said,
it does for you
"Excuse me,
guys."
sir, is this your penis?"
No, apparently the medics originally telling him they could only roll up the remaining stump like a sausage roll.
What?
Does that make sense
That
to
doesn't
you?
make
Does that mean
sense
it's
to me.
filleted sort of thing?
Does it mean it's a party one, or does it mean? I mean, sausage roll is.
It's been
you know,
cut
Well,
down
a
and
little
jumper
tiny
filleted or
one.
something.
Yeah, a little one.
not a party one.
No, but you
so we
don't
can just
roll it up as
tie it up a bit.
no one rolls it up. It's not a thing.
Because he's still got to be able to urinate.
Gonna roll your penis
True.
up. Like,
You're
what?
right. You know, you
You
can't,
can't
roll
just
it up.
can't
You're
roll it
right.
up and be done with it.
No,
because
you're
gotta,
right. You're
urine
right.
has to go
I hadn't
somewhere.
thought of that because I had forgotten about the whole urethra situation.
whole
And
point
that's
of
why I
it.
think it's
Urethra
all well and
Franklin.
good to have these silly articles, but we've got real questions, right? So how is he
Schmitty.
able to go to the toilet?
Schmitty, penises aren't just for jokes. They're also a functioning part of the male human body.
I know, I'd forgotten about that. But at the end of the day, penises are funny.
They do make good jokes, though.
They're funny. They look funny. They're all different, and they're funny.
Have I told you about the
Anyway.
naked mole rat already?
No, but perhaps now you could.
Oh,
I know what it
God.
looks like.
There is an animal called a naked mole rat that
That looks like a
looks
penis.
like a
Yeah, with
penis
teeth.
with teeth.
Oh yes, I know exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're talking about. Now that you've said the teeth.
I'll add it.
Yeah, I've seen that online.
I'll add it to Facebook after this episode, but I will find a picture for you because
He could have put a little false set of candy teeth on it and pretended it was his little ferrety little pet. Oh, don't worry.
Oh, it does look like a penis.
It is. It's like literally a penis with legs and teeth.
Oh, listeners,
And
you're going to enjoy
eyes.
that. You're going to enjoy that when it comes up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for us, it's Trial by Wine Comedy Podcast at Facebook.
After that, so then again, I have no idea how he was saved. I mean, you don't just go from having a penis fall off, throw it in the bin, having sepsis. There must be a bit that we're missing in the story, which is about how he survived and how he remained or was able to restore some of his
All the
health.
serious
But it
stuff.
does say for the next few years he became a recluse. Well, okay, turning to alcohol and feeling a shadow of a man. I was like, but you were homeless before
I'm
that, so I'm
wondering
not sure
about
that
that
again that really
connection.
works that well for
Yeah.
me.
It's like he had a
Yeah.
touch of sepsis because seriously, that shit'll kill you.
Yes. I like that, Schmitty.
A little
A
touch of
sepsis.
sepsis. What?
Believing he'd been left with a lifelong stump, the former mechanic, who is now on benefits, again, who cares, became a recluse. He explained, now this is interesting because I want to know, the urethra's going to need to work here. He explained how he would drink 18 pints a day and often start drinking every morning. So he was putting a bit of
No wonder
to
he's
work.
homeless.
That's a lot of bloody fluid.
Yeah,
Well,
so there's
that
a lot
was-
of questions
Are you sure
around
that
this
wasn't
whole
after
period.
the surgery?
18
No.
pints a day.
No.
How can you even afford that? Like,
It's pretty cheap in
financially,
the UK. It's very cheap in
as
the
well
UK
as
compared
It's
to-
in
physically.
cans at the grocery
Your
store.
body
Yeah.
can't
Gone down
cope
to
with
Gone down
that.
to Asda.
The offie.
It'll
The
come to me
offie.
later.
Lidl,
Yeah,
no.
it'll come to
Offie.
Yeah, but like the corner shop is like an offie.
Quickie
in-
Mart.
in
Yeah,
the
an
UK.
off yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
our 7-Elevens don't sell alcohol, but theirs do.
Yeah, that's true.
They
The
sure
spa.
do.
He went down to the spa,
spa.
and he
Spa.
that's it. I was trying to think of a name.
Remember
for
when
it.
the smelly, the sort of the vegetables are always on the turn?
Yeah, no.
I always sort of
No.
think it was like a sweet rotting smell. It's like, oh, I wouldn't get my veggies here.
And when the lawyers of Spa contact us, we don't care.
That's all right.
That's
We
just
were
our
always there to
lived
get some Monster
experience.
Munch.
That's right.
And
I
some
just went for
Ziggies
my
on the
no,
way.
I like my cheesy Watsits. I used to go.
Oh, there you
down
go.
and
I
get
would have
some
liked
cheesy
Monster Munch.
Watsits.
There you go. Everything serves its purpose. But he received a lifeline when his GP referred him to Professor David Ralph, an expert in phallus construction at University College Hospital in London.
An
Almost 2 years
expert
later.
in phallus construction. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. How much of this stuff happens?
Professor Ralph?
You know, enough
Well, apparently it doesn't.
to have an expert in
People
it.
must have them injured quite more often than we
Well, they
realise.
must
I
get
don't
blown
think people
off
share their
and
stories.
bitten off
Yeah,
and cut
think
off
about
and
I reckon it's just
smashed.
because he's
I mean-
willing to have a go that he's an expert, because no one does this stuff
It happens
much.
a lot, you know.
No,
Yeah,
What?
you say it. I
Yes.
bet you that
That
lots of
penises turn
injuries.
black and fall off.
No, not that
Not
one.
so
But I mean,
much that,
as
yeah.
somebody who specialises in injuries and situations, through illness and disease, and there must, I'm sure that, maybe we need to do a bit of research into
like-
that, but I bet you there
Is it like 15 globally each year or
I am not
something?
Googling
I
that.
just don't feel like
I
there's.
don't know his study, but, it's,
Yeah, that's
obviously
right.
fairly niche.
It's literally by experience. Oh,
I am not
I
But of
can
course,
do
the
that.
Daily Mail gets
How
straight
does
to
one
the point.
become an expert in
Yeah.
phallus reconstruction?
That's
Yeah.
right.
God.
Professor Ralph revealed Malcolm could have a new penis grafted, and he got to choose the size. Malcolm requested that it be 6 inches, 15 centimetres, which was 2 inches, 5 centimetres longer than he had previously. He must have had that recorded somewhere.
It
or
was
maybe
what?
printed out.
Might as well
I
get a
don't
big
know.
one.
Did you say it was 2 inches longer than what he had before?
Yeah. You had a
Yeah.
4-inch.
How do you?
2 inches.
How does
He
your?
got to choose what size he wanted.
No, no.
Contrary to what men like women to believe that an inch is, they're not big.
No, but,
Inches
Well,
are
they've
not
got to
you're
be
not.
like this.
You're not.
That's an inch, isn't it?
So what? The point I was going to make is he's got 3.5 inches of penis. It's fallen off and gone in the bin, and there's still enough to roll up like a sausage roll.
No. Oh.
Like, what?
The sausage roll
No,
thing
I
doesn't
think
make any
it's just
sense
a
to
bit
me.
of skin.
I don't
think
get
it's
that.
just whatever
Ugh.
skin's left. Can I just
Nah.
ask? And you may
Yes.
not have the detail on this, but when
I'm
we
sure I
talk
won't.
about 6 inches, do we talk about? Oh, actually, I think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, you're going to
because
say
I've
if it's
seen it.
erect or not?
Yes, and I've
Of course
seen
it's
it. And
not.
on the arm, I thought that's generous, and now I'm thinking generous flaccid. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I presume so.
Yeah, so 3.5 inches. If it's a grower, not a shower,
Correct.
was probably normal.
Normal sized. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Doctors took a skin flap
Oh.
from his left arm and rolled it to form a makeshift penis. The arm was chosen because it has skin quality and sensation, medics said. They also created, this is what's interesting, they created a urethra, I would say urethra within the skin.
Mm-hmm.
What?
But rather than the penis being attached between his legs, it was originally stuck onto his arm. This is quite interesting, due to lack of oxygen in his blood at the time of the operation. So it wasn't
Hypoxia
due
or
to go on
something.
his arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hypoxemia, is that how you say it?
Hypoxemia, yeah.
Can't they
Hypoxemia?
just give him
Yeah.
an oxygen mask?
Well, apparently not. They had a panic.
He's
The
It'll
complications
die
don't
if
occur
there's not enough
15
oxygen in the blood. The
Won't
the
heal.
new organ,
I
for
feel
want
Yeah.
of a better expression.
So they
will
panicked and
die.
they put it on his arm. That was never what the plan was supposed to
No,
have been.
no.
I feel like the phallus expert wasn't very good at oxygenation, because putting an oxygen mask on him would surely oxygenate his blood pretty quickly.
You would wake up and have a bit of a shock. It went well.
Oh God!
It went
It's
well.
just not
The
quite
penis
where you
went-
expect
It's
it
just
to
not quite
be.
where you expect
Yeah.
it to be. Ta-da!
Hey, Swanny, we talked about our first episode with Gail, Newland, and Chloe. We talked about
Yes.
purchase. How much purchase do you think
Oh,
you get on
God.
I don't think
No.
there was any purchase. I think it was
He
flapping
got so
around.
much
There was no
purchase, he
purchase there.
dislocated his elbow.
Oh gosh. So the
Now
penis
he's got
had to
carpal
be-
tunnel syndrome.
Oh gosh, I've seen a scar. It's not pretty.
As an unexpected outcome.
And
Yeah.
you'll only
seen
be
the
able to
scar.
masturbate one-handed for the rest of your life.
Oh goodness. And left-handed at that.
Oh
Anyway.
gosh, it's a very complicated
It's
scenario,
awful, isn't it?
You've opened up a can of worms here.
Literally,
Or a-
big fat,
Or a jar of
Big
penises.
fat cat. Big fat
sharp
worm.
bag of dicks.
Bag of dicks.
Just the one. Just one. Just a bag of
Yeah.
dicks.
Oh, what's that over your shoulder? A bag of dicks.
It looks like one's got out.
It's running up your arm.
Oh gosh. So his penis had to be connected to the blood vessels in his left arm to keep the tissue healthy. While it was on his arm, Malcolm could not pass urine or get an erection. Obviously, it was just flaccid penis.
Okay, and that
looking
clarifies
tissue.
that
It had
if
no
his left
function
arm, and if
as
he's
such.
right-handed, wanking would be easier.
Correct. But would it have?
It doesn't
wouldn't
work
have
the
felt
same
like
way.
it.
Like
It
it's
wouldn't work
it's
at all.
like no, it doesn't. It's not the same. It's just me being facetious. Sorry.
I love this. You'll love this. Like this is like when you go, oh my god, what caliber of story am I reading? The procedure to move the penis to his groin was severely delayed because he missed a string of appointments due to transport and scheduling mix-up, staff shortages, and the pandemic.
Fucking hell.
So it was there longer than anticipated because, people couldn't get their shit together. Then, COVID.
And we can't
stuff
really
happens.
prioritise that.
He missed a couple of appointments.
It's only a dick on your arm, mate. Who cares?
Yeah, you're not going to
I know, what's the
die.
hurry?
It's not serious.
Hospital
Priorities.
system's busy now. We've got a lot of people who are actually dying. Just leave that dick on your arm.
That is elective surgery, mate.
All cosmetic.
Oh, here are some of the issues that he faced. He revealed the difficult and embarrassing situations he's faced, including his penis falling out in the supermarket and he accidentally fell out of his shirt and him accidentally hitting his own grandmother in the face.
Oh, God.
I effing slap myself in the eye with it. It's a dead weight. When you cuddle your nan at Christmas, you hit her in the eye, he told documentary makers. I went to Waitrose. There was an old lady that needed some help. It fell out of the bandage and fell on her head. Giving her a heart attack, mate.
I was in a supermarket the other day and an old lady said, would you mind reaching up to get something out for her? And I said, sure. And at no point did I think, I have to be careful because the penis might fall out and hit her in the head.
Imagine the lady. Oh, what was that?
Don't worry, mate. I've just been a
It would
cop.
have been so cumbersome because I've seen it. So imagine, you've got his left arm. Imagine a very soft, flaccid penis protruding from it. And he had like this sort of like sock thing to sort of keep it, like a
I bet he wished he'd gone for a 3.5-inch dick at that point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I bet. As opposed to taking up the whole thing. So it would sort of keep it there, but it's obviously slipped out of there.
Oh, sorry about that. It's
That's
my
right,
pet
yeah.
naked mole rat. It's such a naughty little thing.
Oh, Johnny, get back in. This is my favourite though. When I'm cooking,
Sorry,
it
I love
burns.
that you called it Johnny. Was that an intentional
No, it wasn't actually. It
euphemism
wasn't.
for a
I'm not that
penis?
clever. No. Oh gosh, that would have been a good one though, wouldn't it?
Johnny on the spot.
When I'm cooking, it burns. I can't use the back hob. Of course, I feel like less of a man. I ain't got a penis. I'm not a man, am I? Oh,
Oh.
that's
Well,
very sad.
he
And
has
to all the cockless men out there, being a man
Right.
is more than
Yeah.
just your penis.
The
Gotta
keen
say.
darts player also spoke of learning to tuck his darts.
Can we just explore the hob issue? Because,
Oh, can we?
I would, if I had that issue, I would use my other hand to light it. Because he's got two hands. He doesn't have to.
I'm with him on this one, I'll be honest, because last night, and I quite often I'll be cooking in my pajamas and I get a little bit of a wizard sleeve
Yeah.
under- from the pajama shirt, and I think danger alert, and I have to fold them up.
I'm
So
gonna
I
catch
feel
you.
for him.
Yeah. And I wear a lot of caftans, and I'm always pulling them back in case I set
Correct.
myself on fire. Yeah.
But-
So remember, he can't. It's going to still be at that point.
No, but
Where's
he
gonna
could
tuck it
reach
into
with his
what?
left hand
if you're
instead of
taking a
using.
Yes, but he's
hot or
cooking.
something?
it's on
Two
his
hands.
left
He's
hand.
Oh.
doing
On
the
his left
spaghetti
hand.
bolognese. He's doing.
Well, they can
it's
use his
dangerous.
right one then. I just think.
Well, I'm sure he can, but he just forgets, and then it comes out and it gets burned, and it's like, oh.
I think he's talking the issues up a little bit.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Do you think he's being overly dramatic
Oh,
about the whole
100%. Like, it's
usage?
only on one hand, mate. Or one arm.
it's not like you got two penises
It's not like
on
they
both
tuck-
arms.
And also, when he's saying that he feels like less of a man because he hasn't got a penis, it's not because his penis is on his arm. It's because his penis fell off.
Mm.
You know,
Oh, God.
don't blame the operation for that.
On a serious note, Carla, can I just ask,
Yeah.
was he circumcised?
I don't know the answer to that. And
That's
because
a
you can
serious-
on the footage that you can see, there is some footage that you can see, but it's pixelated, so you don't.
It's
actually
hard.
see
You got to
the-
squint. If
the
you
wiener.
squint, you might be
Yeah.
able to work it out. But I didn't
Oh, I
bother.
didn't think to do
Oh, I
that.
hope
should
it.
we
I hope he was
You obviously did.
circumcised because
No,
otherwise,
I didn't. But I saw that it was pixelated, and I thought, oh, I should be squinting, but I can't be bothered because when you sent this through, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was exhausted.
Oh, of course, yeah, because it was when I went
Like,
to bed. You guys would have woken up to this. What
yeah.
a treat!
It was.
That's
It
Swanny.
was like the best thing to wake up to.
And you did you catch my little point about the fact that he was a keen darts player?
I did,
And
yes.
he learned how to
No.
tuck his darts under the penis. Imagine that at the pub. That wouldn't have
what?
got people talking, would it? No.
Nothing up my sleeve.
What's that? What's that fleshy sleeve there?
Hey, presto!
Watch me pull a penis out of my hat.
Oh, he was unable to wear
Oh,
short
poor
sleeve
little.
tops in public, and he couldn't go swimming with his 2 children. Kind of didn't mention those, but yeah, he's got a couple of kids. But Malcolm finally had his manhood back in the correct place following a 9-hour operation last year. The first thing I did was look down and was like, oh my days, they got it right this time. I feel like a real man again. The shaft was detached from his forearm, allowing it to hang freely and form naturally as skin and tissue.
If old mate
Penis
thinks that a skin graft off his arm rolled up with a fake urethra is his manhood, he's
you'd
got
be
some
amazed
issues.
at what they can do.
No, but that's not his manhood. I'm not saying that they can't create a fake one that he's obviously using, but God, it's not going to...
It's a penis. It's still a penis.
It's not.
Sorry. For anyone who's transgendering at this point in time, it's a penis.
It's a bit of arm skin.
It's the
and
same
a straw.
thing. Oh, it's the same thing for people who transgender from female to male. And it does work. It just works differently.
Move on.
And I'm sure Swanny's going to tell us that.
Move on.
I
Jog on.
I'm not going to say anything to either of those points.
No. You know the whole because it can pump up to be erect. And,
there's some talk about what they can do with it a little bit later. There's a comment to that. Penis reattachment surgery is intricate. Wow, there's a bit of a surprise for us. And usually, I love this. This journalism usually involves plastic surgeons. You think?
No shit.
Really?
And urologists working together. Big shock there. Yeah, just a local GP had a go at it in his rooms. Yeah.
Down next door.
Oh, here you go. I reckon I can sew that on for you. Yeah, let's lance it off and pop it on. Yeah.
I love that they're calling it penis reattachment surgery.
Yeah. Even though you think that it's
it's not penis reattachment.
Phallus. Yeah, I suppose.
If it got chopped off and got reattached, that's reattachment. This is penis plastic surgery or something.
Renewable.
It's a new penis that has been grown. It's a penis by all,
intents and purposes.
It's not.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's not.
It is.
It's not.
Oh.
It's like saying, I'll give you a fake nipple because we've had to cut yours off and now go and breastfeed. Like, I just don't think it works like that. Just because
it won't work the same way, although his testicles were still intact, and that's where it is interesting. Because this is the shaft we're talking about.
My point is that he's deriving his manhood from a bit of skin taken off his arm.
No, I agree with you. And manhood has got greater connotations than just around the actual organ. But the plastic surgery and things that people can do in science in this day and age, medically, it's quite impressive.
It's so boring that you're trying to make it serious. It's way better if we're just taking the piss out of the whole thing.
I'm simply saying this man had something that he'd lost, and now it's been given back to him.
Carla, can you mute Schmitty so we can just take the piss out of the whole story?
Well, it's interesting because I've got to the point where it talks about how it's going to work, and it says Malcolm will also be able to have sex as doctors installed 2 tubes which enable him to inflate the penis with a hand pump to give him a mechanical erection.
It's very Kai Fortune.
He'll also be able to pass urine. So for all intent and purpose, I think,
which is the same. No, it's the same with people who are trans. It's exactly the same.
And Sylvester Stallone has the same thing.
Although, what I don't understand is that in my experience of people who trans from female to male and they have male genitalia created for them and attached, the pump is usually in the testicle sac.
Yep.
Which is also made up.
Is there anything that you don't know about Shmitty?
I
mean, here we are again, and now she's telling us that the pump's usually. I mean, she knows sometimes it's usually.
It's the closest place to put it.
Well, I believe
you're so knowledgeable.
It's generally,
your general knowledge is not general. It's
well, we're talking about someone who's I agree with that.
It's advanced and weird.
It's weird. General knowledge
it's not
that
general.
never wins anything on
very
trivia
niche.
because it's very niche. That's right.
It's also not general. It's exceptional knowledge.
It's advanced and exceptional knowledge about very niche
but it's true.
Usually associated with murder, but today it's associated with genitalia.
It's true that they normally will form testes or fake testes, frankly.
Let's call them ball sacks. Maybe now we've got
so
two
they create a ball
sacks.
sack. They create a ball sack.
Otherwise known as a scrotum.
Thank you. They create the scrotum, and they also create the shaft of the penis, and the pumping mechanism is usually in the scrotum. On this occasion, I'm not sure because he had his testes were still intact, so that's a bit different.
I think they ran a tube down his leg so he can use it like a foot pump.
All right, sorry.
Here's he talks about the fact that it could be a real turning point in his life. He says, my luck in life hasn't been too good so far, but it can only go bad for so long, can't it? Can you imagine 6 years of your life with a penis swinging on your arm?
Oh.
It's been a nightmare, but it's gone now, the little bugger.
Little Johnny.
Little bugger. It's gone now.
It wasn't that little, but also the interesting thing is, did you see the photo of his arm after surgery?
Yes.
He's got a
That
very
looks
mutilated
a
arm.
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even like, because at first I thought, there's no point showing no one's watching, but that there'd be a site and there'd be a problem. He'd had so many things taken from like his
a considerable amount of scarring on the arm at surgery. Yeah.
What's the word? It was.
I think you said
disfigured. I guess it was not
disfigured.
There was parts of his arm that were missing.
I'd like to think that it was rehomed rather than gone, and I think no, it's just been rehomed. Little Johnny's back in his natural habitat.
Yeah, true.
Where he doesn't have to get burnt by hobs and he doesn't have to
Little
smack
Johnny
grandma
again.
in the face. Yeah,
Again, that euphemism for a
happy
penis.
days.
Yeah. John Thomas. Little John Thomas has been returned to where he should be.
Well, don't Americans call it Johnson? I think that's
they
thing.
do.
So
but this is a UK story, so I'm going to go with UK euphemism, which is John Thomas. Don't ask me why.
So obviously there's a documentary that would obviously that we can't watch.
Well, I'll tell you how after, and
filling in the holes.
Maybe we need to do it live together.
Wink.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Well, like Gogglebox.
As if my search history and whatever else isn't bad enough, having done this podcast. Imagine that. Oh, live viewing.
Wait till my story tomorrow.
Man with penis on his arm. Oh my God, that reminds me. When I lived in Sydney, after
what did you have attached to your arm?
I had my girlfriends and I
a vagina.
Had a house that we
my vagina fell off and I got it attached to it.
Called Dale, who was our flatmate
imagine that.
for a very short period of time, for a couple of months. And Dale had his own collection of porn movies, titles on DVD. Oh, no, sorry, VHS at the time, I think. And he had one that was called Edward Penis Hands. So it looked like someone had it looked like a leg of lamb. Because where it had to be strapped on to get purchase, the penis bit came there, but it was strapped on somehow. And he had
what do you even
these
mean?
penises for hands.
Just one penis per hand, not 5 penises per hand.
Yeah, so just one big, look like a leg of lamb or something.
Are you saying that was a real thing, not a prosthetic?
No, it was a prosthetic. It was revolting, like some very, very low rent, low budget. But he also did have in the same series Cyrano de Bergerac, where the man's nose was
a penis. I feel like I might have even seen that title once upon a time.
Dick Nose Goes to Town.
Edward Penis Hands. Yeah. Dick Nose Goes to Town. Right. So just to finish that off, though, because I think it's important. I don't think that what we couldn't really get a feel for is I think that Malcolm, although it was clear that there might have been a bit of backstory there, in the very small amount of footage that I could see, he didn't look particularly well, shall we say. He's 47, but he looks much older, and he's clearly had a rough life, and whether on that, I think that predates, obviously, this situation, knowing that he was homeless. And a lot of people took exception to that.
Yeah.
So I've got here, someone said they shouldn't have filmed Malcolm like that. And
he's
then
a very vulnerable person.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got problems in his life. He's got a penis on his arm and probably nightmares for the rest of his life seeing the original drop-off. Poor sod. Such an English thing, isn't it? Poor
sod. Yeah.
Another row. Okay, 20 minutes into this and wondering how the hell any doctor could have thought grafting a penis onto the arm of someone so vulnerable was wise. Again, because it was funded by the NHS, I imagine it was very experimental.
Can you recall some of the other comments? One of them reminded me of what you said when we did the Ed Gein story, which was, what the fuck am I seeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a level like Channel 4's done it again. Yeah.
Yeah. The only postscript I'd like to add is, because you did share this story in advance, which is very unusual for us, was that the NHS, that whole surgery and the work that was done, that was a £50,000 surgery.
Yeah.
So, by Australian standards, about $75,000 worth of surgery. So, well done, NHS. I said something, when Carla sent this, I sent something like, well, at least the NHS didn't scrimp. And I was really thinking about the fact that his penis went up in size.
Oh, right. They were like, no, we can't afford. No, you have to. You have to.
You have to have
like he's dealing with the builders.
We'll give you half a
your budget
penis.
doesn't allow that.
Yeah.
I don't want a micropenis. Well, that's what the budget allows.
Sorry.
Well,
That or
tough.
nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. That was
Yeah,
good.
so that was my not Florida man, Florida story, but yeah, it had to be looked at, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
And
Well
we
played.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
Gave us a
Oh,
good
good,
giggle.
good,
Thank
good.
you.
Next
I'm
one.
not sure the others
What
will
have you
be
got
quite
next?
nearly as I think, but again, these were all based on. Some of them are so bad, I don't even know if I can say it. So let's start with the worst one first, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, now it's a toss-up. Maybe you guys can decide. I'll give you the two headlines and you tell me which story you would, I don't know if it's like least likely to hear. Okay. Headline 1 is, again, I have to be so careful because we're making fun of things, but people end up in very bad ways or dead. Brother of murdered teen tells court about photos showing dad eating feces.
Oh, come on.
That's headline
What?
1.
Oh,
What's that got
yes.
to do with...
That's-
okay.
that sounds
Tell-
like
Oh,
yeah,
headline 2.
it sounds like
Yes.
a load of
What's
shit
the
to
next-
me.
What's the next one?
Charismatic Florida veterinarian gets 22 years in prison for sexually abusing dogs.
I shouldn't laugh. The poor dog.
I told you it was lowbrow today. I wasn't kidding.
Wow.
Charismatic. Not to the dog.
Charismatic in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we start with that one?
Oddly, I think I find the shit story less offensive than the
Molesting
sex
dogs.
with dog story.
So, which
when
one
they
do you
say
want to
it
do
was-
first?
Okay.
Yeah, I think the shit one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, interestingly, the way I found this story was because it was from another feces-related story, and when I went searching for it to see if I could find it, this is how it often happens.
Does it involve meth?
So,
Does your search history say
no, this doesn't actually. Oh,
funny
feces.
crime stories involving poo?
Well, no. There was another story that I found.
Florida
that
man
feces in
involving
headline.
poo? Florida
It's
man eats poo?
Eating it, pooing somewhere. There was a lot of that. So this is sad. It's actually terrible, but there is. Oh, what about this one? I didn't end up doing this. Florida man vapes semen is also in my.
Semen?
What? Florida man vapes semen.
We're changing stories right now. Let's go to that.
I quite like the Florida man vape semen. You know when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Not much
sitting,
to it.
yeah, but you
I
know
think
when you're
it's
driving
fake.
along and there's a person in front of you vaping and this massive cloud of steam comes out of their
Semen
car.
comes out.
So much.
What are you
more.
suggesting?
Well, I want to know how semen is vaped.
Well, when I looked into that story, I think it was fake. So I
Ah.
couldn't find. People were saying that it had been created for like
That's a
TikTok or
disappointment.
something like that.
Yeah,
so I don't
right.
know that it was true.
For us?
So I couldn't find a story behind it. So there's again, this is kind of the point. There's
People
all
are
these
creating
amazing
fake,
headlines.
fake content so that we'll cover it.
Appreciate it.
Well,
They're just doing it, going, "Oh, that."
well, tricksters, you've
Swanny
got to
shall
get up
fall for
earlier
it.
than Swanny for that.
What's that email address
Hang on,
again,
let's
Schmitty?
trybywine@gmail.com.
Teen tells court. Here we go. I think. Oh, yes. So this one that we're talking about was in the Huffington Post.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh.
Yes, this is about the dad eating feces. Prosecutors argued this week that Mark Redwine killed his 13-year-old
Mark what?
son. Redwine.
Yes.
Of which I'm about to open a bottle of.
He's
Yeah,
one of
go
our
ahead.
people.
Yep. Well, he might not
older
be after
brother-
this story.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
the
true.
older brother of a 13-year-old boy who disappeared in Colorado in 2012 confronted his father about photos of him eating feces from a diaper months before his younger sibling went missing, the boy's brother testified Thursday.
That's not like eating a placenta, is it?
Oh.
So
God.
there's nothing in a shitty nappy that is nutritionally good? Just checking?
Correct. Just saying.
No.
No, it's,
I
Prosecutors
imagine
argued
not.
this week
but I'm
it's
just checking.
shit.
That Mark Redwine killed his son over photographs that triggered a fatal outrage. The photos, accidentally discovered by the two boys on their father's computer during a road trip in 2011, depict
Oh.
Mark Redwine, their father, wearing women's underwear and a diaper and eating feces from a diaper.
So
Oh,
his own
no.
feces?
Mm,
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Because he was
While
wearing
their
that.
father slept, the siblings looked at the photos in a locked bathroom and Corey took his own photos to save on his phone. Could you imagine stumbling across that?
No.
Dad, we've got one over you here.
Morning, Dad. Have a look
No, I
at
will
this.
not be doing that punishment. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it then ends up being a very tragic story where one of the boys goes missing and the older brother is saying, look, I know what's happened to you. Dad's killed him because of
Dad's a shit eater. And as a
and he's
result,
a shit bloke too.
Funny that you should say that. The next line down here reads, Corey called his father an explosive eating coward. So I suspect
Explosive,
it was
sure.
Shit eating coward, yeah.
And
no,
said,
explosive.
"You are
I don't
what
know
you
what
eat."
explosive is. You know the best part about that, Carla, is that you
What,
don't
Jenny?
even drink.
She just says that
I
so
just
that
can't
we'll
speak.
understand.
I just swear it anyway.
I appreciate it.
She slaughers her words.
Appreciate. Corey called
Corey.
his father an
An
expletive.
eating coward.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It sort of goes on. It says, Corey had testified that the accidental discovery of photos ruined Dylan's relationship and image of his father. Dylan lost any reason for him to look up to Mark that day.
And for the rest of his life, I hope.
Correct. The district attorney suggested that on the night he was killed, Dylan Redwine may have mentioned or shown his father the photographs, triggering his father to become violent.
Well, I gotta say, his father was a fucking nut job to start with.
Yeah.
If that was his fetish. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't kink shame, but kink shame.
It says
But I'm
here,
going to
Corey
anyway.
Redwine
I shouldn't,
told
but he
the
killed
court-
someone afterwards. Like it's
Yeah.
one thing to say these things turn me on, and that's just who I am, and you know, we all need to work through who I am, versus I'm going to kill you because you've discovered my secret.
Right.
And there are lots of people who have kinks, and that's okay.
Do you need to photograph it?
Wind it up, Schmitty. Far out.
Yeah.
Why would you
What are you trying to
photograph
do,
it?
Good for you, Schmitty.
Oh, I just got to look. Yeah.
Well, because you're offensive. Anyway,
If we were in the same room, I reckon I would have ended up with the same fate as Dylan.
I'm just
Oh,
saying there are
that's
people who do things that the rest of us might find weird, but they don't kill people.
100%. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you.
And that's why this man crossed a massive line, because
And that's why he's getting kink
He
shamed.
just
Killed
couldn't
his
handle
son.
it because I think it was sometime later, if I understand this
Shit
correctly.
I mean, what? Oh, we'll edit that out. Or I'll put a boy
Expletive.
over it
Yeah.
because, you know, we shouldn't use that kind of language. Anyway.
Oh, goodness. Sorry, Carla. Do continue.
No,
Sorry,
that's all
Swanny,
right.
tell us more.
Corey Redwine told the court his younger brother was pretty disgusted and said he wanted to use the photos as leverage in an argument with his dad a year later. So they've been sitting on them for a while. And he sent a text to his brother saying, "Hey, send me those poop pics of Papa because
Those poop pics of Papa.
And I want to show
you say
him
poop?
who he really is."
Yeah, poop pics of Papa.
Poop pics of Papa.
I like a good alliteration, but that's
Is that a
ridiculous.
song?
I did. That is a total quote. That's something I made up.
PPOP.
Pics
Pop-
of Papa, poop,
Papa
pics of
eats
Papa.
poop. I'm in trouble
Double deep. Papa eats poop.
Oh.
It's Mr. Hanky.
Howdy ho, children.
Okay. Swanny doesn't look impressed.
No.
No.
This is what not drinking will
I
do
don't.
to
I don't
you.
want to go too. I mean, that is
That'll do.
that is that's enough
Yeah.
on that. I think.
Yeah.
Because that's just a
A shit of a story.
sorry. What a, yes. I can go to another one
It's
about
not even a
feces if
pun.
you want. Defendant throws feces at Miami judge.
Oh,
Yeah, go
yes.
on.
Come on, let's
That's
hear
gotta be
that.
good.
It's not good. It's just another one of those clickbait ones where it's like, what's the story? The story is a defendant charged with burglary decided to play dirty
Oh.
during his criminal trial in a
Sometimes
Miami
it's
Dade
just all
courtroom
about
on
the
Friday.
journalism.
Yeah, it is.
Dorleen Philidor, 33, was reportedly sitting in a wheelchair next to Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Lisa Walsh when court officials say he tried to throw his feces at her.
Where did he get them from?
Correct. I do not
In a
Remember
wheel-
that story
imagine
I
that.
told you? Remember
We
that
already
story
had
I
ready to
told you
go.
about the silverback gorilla at the zoo who
Yeah,
shot his
yeah.
own hand and threw it? I reckon
Yeah.
that's what happened.
But
there.
he's in a wheelchair. Like,
He can still lean.
Oh, it's got to be hard.
Lean
Maybe,
in.
I don't quite understand that
maybe
too,
he
I would
had him in
agree.
his pocket.
Apparently he yelled out, "It's protein, it's good for you."
No,
It is
it's not. I mean,
though.
if he threw semen, he could say it's protein, it's good for you. But it's
I
not
did
okay
that-
to say
oh.
my shit is protein.
Did the
Well-
judge charge him with fraud after he said that?
I do like this. It says, during the incident, the bailiff yelled for Walsh
Perhaps
to
she
run.
said contempt of court.
Run! As police and corrections officers ran into the courtroom. Witnesses reportedly saw Philidor eat some of the bowel movement as well.
Oh,
It was intense. The corrections officer and
was it
police
an
officers
actual
were
bowel
swarming.
movement? Do we know
Oh,
that
I
it was?
don't
Maybe it was
know.
just a protein bar because sometimes they look like shit.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah. It doesn't say that.
Might be a
It does say
Chiquito.
Sometimes they taste like
They told
shit
eventually he
too.
couldn't go back. It was considered a hazardous
I
area.
know, they're so
Once the
gross.
incident concluded, the courtroom was closed for cleaning, and Walsh moved the closing arguments to another courthouse later on Friday morning. So
She had a
after
bad
they
day
returned,
at
they found
work.
him
What
guilty
did he
of
get charged
burglary.
with? And what did he get convicted
Burglary,
of?
nothing. It's not
Burglary
clear what
and-
charges he will face for his fecal
I feel like he
outburst.
got 3 life sentences because she just went, I don't give a fuck anymore. You're just gone, mate.
Oh, a day earlier, Sigler, don't know who that is, said Philidor, who was the chappie who was in the wheelchair, defecating.
The shit
said
flinger.
Also defecated on himself and spread it over the walls and his body in a holding cell next to the courtroom. It's got form. Right.
So he needs life imprisonment. I agree, but we'll get to that in sentencing. I don't even know how I'm going to sentence any of this. Right,
I don't know that there is any sentencing for them. These people are just
whack.
their life is their sentence. I think. I don't think we need to sort of pile.
They're
on.
all
No, that's
Unicums,
right.
whack.
It's. I think this is Ken sort of. Yeah, I don't think we need.
No
to
need to pile it on.
Remember we were
That's
talking
dangerous
about
territory.
the ravages of Clarkey as a sentencing world?
Yeah.
This is not what would happen in the ravages of Clarkey, but I feel like there is a sentence, part of trial by one world, which is life sentence. And life sentence isn't being in prison for 25 years. It's
Just
actually
living
having
badly.
the life of one of these people
Yeah.
where
okay.
you are sentenced to shit life.
Oh, that is dark. Yeah, I
That
like
is
it.
like, oh.
Okay.
Ugh. Imagine being sentenced to 6 years with a penis on your arm. Or a
precisely
shit-eating
that. How can
nappy
you-
fetish
how
where
can
you
we
get
outdo
caught by
that?
your kid. Yeah, that's right. Like,
We can't. That's the thing. So these will not require. Yeah, what they've done is worse than what we could do to them. So, do you want to do charismatic Florida veterinarian gets $20, 20 years in prison for sexually assaulting
before
dogs?
we do, I just have a question. When you say he's
Yeah.
charismatic, was he charismatic to dogs or was he
I want to know
charismatic to
about that.
people?
Yeah. Yeah, we do want to do it. Yeah, is the answer.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay.
We want to know why
Okay.
he's charismatic. Was he part of
Well,
a
I did-
charismatic church?
Did he have a tail and a long snout?
I think the point is that he
Talked a good
he
game.
we often
He
have
jumped up a
hypotheses
lot
we look at
when you
crimes.
walked in the door.
Well presented,
All right.
bit of a pillar of society. That
Charismatic to
charismatic.
humans.
Pillar of society equals
you know.
murderer. Anyway,
No,
go on.
the word was pillar.
Yeah,
Or
but
dog
pillars
fiddler,
of
as
pillars
it's
of
called.
society.
Oh,
How
yes.
many times have and we will
Oh, no,
cover
Equals
this
fiddler.
in
privileged
many
fuck
many
who-
future episodes and
Yes.
some of the past, where people who have come across as pillars of the society are literally just nutbags.
Just
So,
fucking egotistical
anyone-
murderers.
Anyone you meet who you think is a pillar of society,
Watch 'em.
watch.
Run.
Watch them.
Throw shit at them and run the other way.
Vape some semen in their face. Go on, tell us about it.
The source of this was maybe the Miami Herald. A successful veterinarian reportedly described as charismatic was sentenced to over 22 years in prison on Friday for sexually abusing animals, among other
Wow.
charges. Prentice Madden appeared in Miami federal court for his sentencing. In addition to creating and sharing videos of himself involved in sexual acts with dogs online,
Oh, what?
Madden
You
was
filmed
found in
it.
possession, of thousands of images of child pornography, including those of infants and toddlers.
What?
and where this-
Hang on a
Oh,
minute.
hang on. Yeah, no,
yes,
it went
this
from,
is
You
important.
can't
No, I
rush
know,
through
but-
that.
No, I'm not going to.
Not that
I'm not
dogs
going
aren't,
to.
citizens of
Yeah,
our
but there's a
community.
whole lot.
Apparently-
There's a whole lot
Man's
of cray
best
cray
friend.
going on there that we need to hear about.
Apparently, this
This
is a
man-
thing. It
yeah,
says
okay.
the vet was sexually abusing animals
And he holds a
and in
goal.
possession of child porn. Sadly, abuse of animals is the top predictor for abuse of children.
Really?
Which is why last year
What?
a bill was passed
Really?
requiring animal abuse investigators to be trained to spot signs of child abuse.
Wow.
Didn't know that. Well, I mean, why would I have never
Wow.
thought about this? But it's interesting, isn't
Who
it?
would
So
have
there's a
thought we'd
connection
learned
there
something
between just-
really important through this crazy fucking
Hopefully, we'll
weird
never
ass
have
story?
cause to use it. But yeah,
Podcast.
if
Yeah,
you're really if you're doing this kind of stuff, it's prolific.
When we say animal
Um,
abusing, it's sexual.
I believe so.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
animal rape. Because
Yes.
Oh God!
there's
animal
also
rape.
lots of evidence that says people who mutilate, kill animals are also
Yes, go on
it's
to be
predictive
the
for serial
trouble.
killers.
Serial
Yeah,
killer, yeah.
that,
Correct.
that I can
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, we understood that,
but
but I didn't
You
know
can come
about
out?
the
The
okay.
link between having sex with animals and having sex with children.
That's
What?
gross.
Ugh. There's some bits of life you just don't need to hear. And you certainly can't unhear them once you have.
Well, welcome to being a true crime comedy
and
podcaster.
that's why we have a
But
warning at the
nobody had
start.
any idea where he worked. So it says here, Madden previously worked as a medical director at the Caring Hands Animal Hospital in Aventura, Florida. The hospital told the Herald that Madden was fired from his position 2 weeks prior to his arrest in March, after it had learned that he was under investigation for what it called heinous and unthinkable
Heinous.
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 Rhymes with heinous. Yeah.
Yes.
Rhymes with Law and Order SVU.
He was still listed as a medical director at the time of his arrest. That information was promptly taken down.
There we go.
Heinous and unthinkable crimes.
These heinous crimes, yeah.
Anyway, so thankfully there's no sort of in-depth information, which we don't need to know, but it was interesting that connection was made between children and animals.
I got carried. Once you said heinous, I completely lost all sense of ability to comprehend. But did he get sentenced and nut punched or anything? Or
he did.
22 years.
He was sentenced to over 22 years in prison. It does say here.
22 years in prison. What's the parole position on that? Because we have covered people who have murdered people, and I'm not saying that raping animals.
Yes, you got less of it.
And having
no,
lots
but he
of
didn't
child
get the
porn.
2 to 20 year sentence. He got the 22 year.
True.
That weird
You're
one
right.
that I just don't get.
The more we talk about these things, the more it's difficult to understand. There doesn't seem to be any parity. There doesn't seem to be any.
Let's bring in a global law.
Oh, it's just minimum sentence for X, Y, and Z.
It is interesting. Whenever I hear this comes up. It's come up recently in WA. Actually, there was a nurse, a senior nurse, who was found to have a lot of child pornography. And they used this same sort of defence, which it says here, he turned to child pornography because he was clinically depressed.
Oh, bullshit.
Is that what happens? Is that what happens
No.
when when I get depressed, I just think, oh, God, I don't want to get out of bed.
I turn to
my
fat
life's miserable.
snacks and Netflix.
Yes,
I don't
exactly. I
turn
just
to-
start eating myself silly.
No,
Lots of
and
wine.
then sleeping a lot and having a bit of a cry and feeling like...
There's got to be a screw loose.
Someone's going to come up and say that's not depression. I
Yeah.
don't mean to make light of that, but
No.
I don't know how you make the leap from feeling,
because
so despondent to going, oh, you know what, I really think will make me feel better.
yeah.
I don't get that.
Agreed.
No.
And also,
That's
not everyone who has
a weird
depression
defence to me.
goes down that wormhole. Like it's,
No, not at all.
There's
That's why
something
I
else
find it odd
that's
when I've
going
seen
on.
it more than once. Correct. Okay, I've got 2 more. Choose what you want. Do you want Naples man calls 911 about McDonald's order and says he has cocaine in his butt?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't want to hear the
Oh,
next
no, God.
story.
And what's the
No,
other
I'm
one?
not passing on that.
Fake teen doctor known as Dr. Love arrested again.
No, I definitely want the
Quite like
cocaine
the
in his
Naples
butt.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be frank, there's not a lot going on with the fake teen doctor except that he's pretending to be a doctor.
His name's Doogie
again,
Howser.
and getting away with it. I just don't understand how you could pull
Is
that
it
off.
just a
but, you know,
TV show, and that's why he's fake? Because it's
I just love that he's been arrested again for pretending to be a doctor and getting money off people, and he had a fake stethoscope and rooms and whatever else. I'm like, good on you, mate. I mean,
he's playing doctors and nurses.
he's out there doing something.
And went a little bit
making
too
something of
far.
himself.
And maybe a little bit of hide the sausage.
Now, this story is just so, oh God, stupid. Really, it's just stupid.
Perfect. Bring it.
Okay, Naples man calls 911 about McDonald's order and says he has cocaine in his butt.
I just love that headline is gold. I don't know if the story can live
What's
up to
the
the
crime?
headline.
I don't know why
The crime is
I
the
don't-
McDonald's order is shit.
He called 911.
I've got an emergency.
When deputies arrived at McDonald's, employees said Uradi had been yelling and cursing at staff over his mistaken order.
Yes.
And they wanted him taken from the premises. Uradi said he wouldn't leave unless his burger was fixed.
I'm with
The
him
deputy
on that.
told him again he had to leave.
Yeah.
Fine, then
Go
take
to
me to
Hungry
jail.
Jack's.
I'm not leaving, he said.
If you
Better to taste
if
better.
you want variation on burgers, that's what Hungry Jacks do. Apparently, Macca's don't.
Really?
Apparently, yeah.
The deputy escorted the disgruntled customer from the burger joint. Upon searching his pockets, the deputy found marijuana folded into a napkin.
What?
Uradi was taken. I've said his name 3 different ways now. I hope you appreciate
No,
that.
I just thought they were
Uradi.
triplets.
Was taken, I don't know how to say it. Was taken to Naples Jail Centre, and the deputy was told Uradi would need to be medically cleared before being admitted. EMS arrived, and he was loaded onto a stretcher. Watch what you do to me. You'll be sorry, he said. as he combated both deputy and medical help, the report states. The deputy had to help load Uwadi onto the stretcher a second time because he kept trying to get off.
He's on the drug that killed
leg shackles.
Phoenix.
All this because he called the police about his burger being badly or mistakenly made. Yeah, leg shackles were finally placed on him, and he was taken to Naples Community Hospital. While in hospital, he continued to be aggressive towards healthcare workers and deputies. I'll have your job. I'll sue you. I'm from New York. Don't worry, I'll get you, he told them.
He's on the drug. He's on the drug. He's on the drug.
He's on the drug. Kill River Phoenix.
He's on the drug.
He's on the drug. He's on the drug. Kill River Phoenix.
Yeah.
Drink the slab. Drink the slab.
So while they're trying to get him in, he's like, I have cococaine in my butt. 56-year-old.
Not the best way. Sorry, did you say
56-year-old?
56. I'm too old for this.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I.
No, precisely. Some old bloke having a little bit of a night on the gear, just going,
a moment.
Brilliant.
He was having a moment.
It's like his falling down moment.
Yeah, 100%.
It was all good up until that point.
That's great.
Oh god! This is at the time of this report. While he was still in the emergency room, he's facing charges for trespass of a structure or conveyance, marijuana possession, not more than 20 grams, and resisting law enforcement without violence. Remember we went through these other Florida things and there was like that whole sort of catalogue of charges?
What?
It's
That's
their own
nonsense.
special little...
Without violence?
Yeah, without violence.
No, I'm not going with you. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. You are.
And the final sentence of this, it's actually from NBC Online. The final sentence reads, charges mentioned nothing of the alleged cocaine Awadi said was hidden in his rear end. How bizarre is that?
What did McDonald's get charged with for getting the order wrong? That's what I want to know.
I think they got away with it. They had a very disgruntled customer.
They started it.
Could you imagine saying that to someone like you're getting arrested, like, I've got cocaine in my butt? Okay, all right.
Well, I'm not touching it. I believe you.
What's your point, weirdo?
What a bunch of weirdos. Anyway, that is my suite of...
I love it. That was really good.
Well, it was a bit random, I know, but in looking for... Some of these Florida stories are just becoming annoying because they're like, now that we've got to that point where we want backstory, we need a little more. It's such a tease. It's like, just you've got me again. And you start to go, these are just clickbait. Just get someone in. There's no story there. I mean, that one in particular, but...
It's still funny, though.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, very easy to have a little bit of a giggle, a little bit of lightheartedness, and I think, some weeks we go so deep.
Yeah.
A little bit of frivolity every now and then can't be a bad thing. And as we sort of alluded to earlier, I don't think we need to sentence these people because, frankly, they're living their own hell in one way or another.
Ready to sentence them.
Who are you going to sentence?
I'm sentencing McFucking-Donalds. Like seriously.
Yes, out of all the things that I've covered, they are the
100%. They've fucking got my blood boiling already.
Service bullshit. Yep.
No. So have you seen Lethal Weapon 2, where Leo goes, don't go to the drive-thru. They fuck you around at the drive-thru. They know, but by the time you realize you've been fucked, you'll be so far away that you won't want to go back.
Yeah. How many times have I driven out of a drive-thru and not got my order?
Yes,
and not done anything about it?
That's terrible,
too far away. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that this sits with McDonald's only because it happened to me at KFC not that long ago. But
to be fair, it was a bucket of chicken that we didn't order.
No, yeah, but like just fucking stop it. It's not convenient. It's not good customer service. If old mate goes back with cocaine up his butt and loses his shit, give him what he wants.
Literally,
he's giving you a second chance to do your job properly.
Yeah, I won't leave a drive-through now without checking we have what I ordered.
Yeah, that's
that is a very wise move.
I'm not that clever. I just want to bitch about it. I know they're going to fuck me around, and I still don't check.
No, I'm not having it. I fucking pay for that. I'll have that. I want the sweet and sour sauce. Put it in there, bitch. Yeah. If I don't have the sweet and sour sauce, it's a deal breaker. I asked for it.
Is that when you get your bad stuff very good?
I asked for it.
If I've got to come around a second time. Fucking listen.
No, I didn't just say, and can I have sweet and sour sauce as like a gentle idea of something I might want? I fucking ordered it.
It is true, isn't it? That there is with all these takeaway, this sort of like scale of how much can be missing is wrong, is what else. Imagine if you went to sort of other shops and they got things that wrong all the time. You'd be like, You forgot to pack my jeans and the shoes that I also purchased. Oh,
You didn't
So-
scan.
But there, it's sort
50%
of like, we didn't think we'd get it perfectly
Bullshit.
right, did you?
Yeah, it's just bullshit. I'm with you, Clarky.
So I'm
I'm
sentencing.
calling time on this shit. Yeah,
I'm sentencing the people who work at the drive-through window who don't check your order before it comes to you to have 6 years of arm penis.
Imagine the sound that would make. It would do that
Slapping
slapping.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry,
also they're
I
going to
can't
have to
hear
hand you
order
the
because my
bag.
penis is slapping against my arm.
They're going to have to hand you the bag of drive-through food, and their penis is going to be waving at you, and
Here's a bag
everyone's
and a
going to
dick.
know.
Not a bag of
What
dicks,
the-
just a
what the
bag
fuck?
and a dick.
Is that a chicken tender, mate? What the fuck?
I didn't order
battered
that. I
salad
just
again.
wanted the sweet and sour sauce.
Oh,
I didn't order
That's
that.
right.
I thought we
Oh.
weren't going to the fish and chip shop to get a battered salad. Never mind.
I haven't been to one since.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so they're who I'm sentencing.
That's a
Excellent.
great call. No, I'm with you. I have had enough experiences of bad service in drive-throughs that I will replicate your sentence on this occasion. I'm not
Nice.
sure about their whole dick on their arm, but
Ah,
certainly
no, fuck 'em.
calling it out for bullshit, bad service, and
Cocaine up their butt.
yeah, why not? With the bag broken so that it goes
Yeah.
quickly into their bloodstream.
Oh, I assumed that's what had happened.
So
I
he
thought,
banked
I thought
it.
that's why he got the reaction.
No,
Which doesn't say. Of course, there's
there's
nothing
no
in
proof
that
of that.
article.
So,
I thought it.
No, anything.
Oh no, I just thought he'd licked his finger instead of doing the line, wiped it around a bit, and up you go.
it's
cried
absorbed,
pass.
it's absorbed faster and more efficiently through your anus. That's right.
And it gives me
Oh,
a way
shit,
better
no.
reaction to a shit drive-through service.
Needs must, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, God. Maybe next time I go through a drive-through, I'm going to try that at the start of the queue.
Swanny, absolutely brilliant. Very funny. Thank you very much for
Loved
a
it,
whole bunch of
loved
headlines that were just outrageously ludicrous. Well played.
Just silly.
And
Yep.
and thank you for giving us a part of Trial by Wine World that is life sentence. I like it.
As per every week, we all say, and I shall say again, miss you already.
Love you long time.
Ciao, bye everyone.
Alright,
See you
good
guys.
job.
See you
Ciao,
next time.
Bella.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.